All right, so I'm back. Last night went pretty well at the out trick or treating, so that went pretty well. We're out there for I want to say about an hour and a half, I think, maybe two, but it went pretty well. I went as Joker, and my daughter went as a person from Harry Potter, and my son went as Jack. And so that was pretty cool. We had a good time. I'm just not getting off of work. And so today I watched a couple of videos. Okay. One of the videos I was watching, or actually two of the videos I watched today, was about the whole Michelle Obama thing. All right. I never really kept up with the Obamas. Like I can honestly say I didn't keep too much into that too much because I really wasn't into politics like that, right? Because I always felt that what's the point, right? What's the point of getting into this, because it's always going to stay the same. What's the point? No matter who you vote for, things never change, this and that, right? So I would never really keep up with them, right? But so she did an interview saying this about how she moved into the area that she moved into, and all the white people moved out, and this and that, right? When you talk like that, you're keeping this whole racism thing in the forefront of everybody's minds. When are we gonna let this go? I mean, really, when are we gonna let this go? Is it racist to want to, or not want, but tend to stick by your particular race more than others? I don't really think so. I mean, I really don't. But it's only because I see it all the time, right? Where, like, okay, say for instance, when I went to school, all the blacks, they hung out with each other. All the Mexicans hung out with each other. The few whites that were there hung out with each other. And so it was kind of common, right? But a lot of the people were cool with each other. They were cool with each other. But sometimes they weren't. I mean, that's just how that is. But it's just I'm ready for this to go away. I mean, I'm ready for this whole conversation to go away, because to be honest, we'll never move forward if we're constantly trying to poke and pick and trying to point out what other races are doing. If you have to describe someone by their race first, I mean, it's already a problem, right? I shouldn't have to be like, hey, that guy, that the Hispanic guy, that black guy, that white guy. I don't want to have to tell you what color this guy's skin is or this person's skin is. I should sit there and be able to tell you what this person did, and it be what this person did or is doing. Or, if I'm describing this person, if I say, hey, I know this guy, he's kind of tall, about 6 foot, long hair or short hair, or, kind of stocky, whatever, right? There's ways that you can describe somebody without having to describe their race. But at the same time, I don't see the big deal in it as far as like wanting to be around people of your own color, because it's familiar to you, right? It's familiar to you. They say that we teach our kids to be racist, right? All these parents are teaching their kids to be racist. That everybody's a racist, right? But really, we just want to connect to people who think and act, or who move like we move, right? So you're looking at people and you go, well, this guy moves like I move, talks like I talk, walks like I walk, likes all the same things I like. I'm gonna go hang out with this guy, right? This is why some people, they have multiple races that they're friends with, right? They're like, hey, I got a couple black friends, I got a couple Mexican friends, I got a couple white friends. The reason why they're so diverse in that is not because they don't like being around their own kind, is because they they sit there and they see similarities in these people, right? They see things that they like, okay, that they can relate to, okay? If I see, if there's 4 Mexican dudes and I walk up, right, and none of them speak, or 2 of them speak Spanish and 2 of them speak English, and I'm probably gonna hang out with the ones that speak English, because for the simple fact is that I can't relate to the ones that don't speak English, because I don't know what they're saying. I don't know what they're saying. What kind of conversation we're gonna have? So you're gonna group up with people that are relatable, somebody you can have conversations with, people you can hang out with, and that kind of stuff, right? Race is the same thing as politics. Okay, because why I say that the same thing as politics, Republicans want to hang out with Republicans. Democrats want to hang out with Democrats. Reason why Democrats don't like to hang out with Republicans is because they don't believe in what they believe in. Same reason why Republicans don't want to hang out with Democrats, right? They think that Democrats are stupid and immature, and Democrats think Republicans are uptight and one-sided, right? Or one-minded. But it's all the same. You know, when I was growing up, I saw things, right, to where I didn't see the things that people are posting on TV, right? You know, I just wish that people would stop blaming everyone for everything, right? You know, I'm not going to sit there and say all these problems that we're having is the white man's fault. I'm not going to say all these problems we're having and the Hispanic community is all Hispanics' fault. I'm not going to say everything that's happening in the black community is all the black people's fault. I'm not going to do that, because, you know, it's no one group's fault why their community is what they are. It's the individuals that are in that community is the reason why things are that way. Okay? Look, if I'm living in a community, right, everything's calm. You know, you're not worried about anything. Every day seems pretty basic. And, you know, the neighborhood starts to go to shit, right? You sit there and you start noticing things are starting to go bad, right? And regardless of who moved into that community, I'm going to move out of the community. I don't care what color a person moved into it. I really don't care what color moves into the community. I care about what community I'm in, as far as safety wise, as far as it being calm and collected and stuff like that. But is this still white flight? If, say, for instance, someone like me who is half white, half Hispanic, and I'm living in this community, and a few white people move in, and I'm like, oh nah, you know, these white guys are crazy, so I'm moving out. F this. Or if I say, oh man, hey look, you know, these Hispanics, man, they like to play their music real loud at 10 o'clock at night, I gotta go. You know, or these black folks be like, hey man, you know what? Honestly, I'm not gonna judge you by your color. I really don't care what color you are. Okay, I'm gonna judge you by what you're doing. Okay, if you're standing outside my house and you don't live there, I'm gonna be suspicious. Okay, it doesn't matter what color you are. You're a white guy or a Mexican guy or a black guy standing outside my house, I'm gonna sit there and feel some kind of way, because I don't know you. I don't know you from Adam. Okay, so you might get a certain kind of reaction out of me. Heck, I act like that with people who call me. If I don't know your number, I ain't gonna answer the phone. Because why do I need to talk to somebody I don't know? Why do I need to hang out with somebody I don't know? Like, I like hanging out with people that I can relate to, people I can have a conversation with. Why do I want to hang out with somebody who I have to hold my tongue? I gotta sit there and watch what I say. No, I'm not gonna do that. I'm not. And that's probably the reason why I don't have friends now, because I'd rather be alone and be in my own circle than to have to worry about what I say and what I do around other people. But that's as far as hanging out with people. But when it comes out to being out in public, I'm a social person. I'm social. I'm gonna talk to anybody and everybody, and I don't care. Like, I don't care if you work at the store or you're a homeless person or whatever. If you talk to me, I'll give you the time of the day, because I would want the same thing, right? I work with customers of all colors and all different nationalities and from all different kinds of places. And I enjoy the conversations I have with them because they tell me some of their stories and stuff like that. And that's pretty cool. But, this whole thing about, a community up and moving just because of the color, I don't want to say it's all the way like that. But then again, I don't know. I wasn't from that time. Maybe that during that time they felt that kind of way. But I tell you this though, okay? You have to be cautious when something new comes around, because if something comes into your area that you're not used to, you're going to want to know why, right? You're either going to address it or you're going to get out of there. Right? So, say for instance, I live in a Hispanic community, right? And a bunch of white people start moving in. Well, why are white people moving in? Because it's always been Hispanic over here. Or this and that, right? So, I think that you should address everything new should always be addressed with some kind of caution. Okay, everything new should be addressed with some kind of caution, because you don't know what's going to happen, right? If I'm standing at the corner store at 3 a.m. and some dude wants to talk to me, hold on, man, I don't know you. Okay, I'm gonna have some kind of caution, because what are you trying to rob me? What are you trying to kill me? What if you just want to talk to me, right? Maybe you need a couple of dollars because you ran out of gas. I don't know. But I'm going to proceed with caution. Okay? And it's not because of the color of somebody's skin. Like I said, I don't care what color you are. Man, I've always been that way. And I had a buddy tell me one time, because I said, man, I really don't see a color, man. I just see how people act, right? That's what I look out for. And he goes, well, you have to pick a side. Right? And I was like, I know. I shouldn't have to. I shouldn't have to pick a side. Okay? And that's how it was when I was growing up. You got to pick a side. No, I'm not picking a side. Oh, well, then you're going to have to fight people of your own race, because they're going to think that you're stepping out on your own race. Well, see, that's stupid. That's stupid if you're going to sit there and say, oh, you're stepping out of your own race if you're talking or hanging out or rather be around another race. Okay, and that I don't get it. Like, okay, so one of the guys I watch, all right, I'm gonna go ahead and say his name because it kind of gives some context, right? So I watch Tommy Sotomayor, right, and he talks about a lot of the black community, right? And so I watch his videos. I don't comment on all his videos. Sometimes he does a lot of news videos, and I might comment on those because they're very interesting news videos. But he's like, hey, I'm talking about what's going on in my community. Well, when he starts talking about what's going on in his community, they're like, oh man, you're this coon, you're this white lover, or this and that, right? And I'm like, dang, you can't even talk about your own community. So if I'm have some Hispanic, people see me as Mexican. Doesn't matter. I don't even care what color or what I say I am. They're just gonna see me as Hispanic. So if I say, oh man, I'm talking about what goes on in the Hispanic community. Oh man, MS-13's over there, running amok in the Hispanic community. Because some of these people have families still in Mexico, so they got to do what they're told, because they don't want people in Mexico to get hurt and this and that. And so if I start talking about stuff like that, then what am I? What am I if I start talking about people like that? I seen this one video or news thing where they were saying white people can't talk about black issues, and they can't talk about what goes on in the Hispanic community, and vice versa and stuff like that. Well, then what is it when somebody of the same color is talking about their own color. And then that's frowned upon, right? But they say, oh, well, you're only showing the bad stuff we're doing. No, you're addressing it. Because, okay, if you didn't think it was bad, you wouldn't be doing it. I mean, you wouldn't have such a problem with it, right? You were out there doing some effed up stuff, right? No, like I said, no matter what color you are, there's effed up people of all colors. So you sit there and say, all right, you're out there doing this stupid stuff, right? And I'm pointing it out because it's stupid. You're doing stupid stuff. And so I don't see a problem with pointing it out. Yet you want to point out the good, right? You want to point out the good stuff that's going on in your area, right? You want to say it's not all bad. It's not all bad. Same things like Hispanic community is like, oh, it's not all bad. We don't all, drink beer and move 40 people in the same house, right? And so, or even in the white community, we're not all mass shooters and we don't kill our own family and this and that, or in the black community, we're not all robbers and we're not all jackers and stuff like that. We're not all drug dealers and stuff. And you want to point out the good stuff that goes on in your community. So I see why they would be upset when people are posting stuff about the negative stuff they're doing. But it's not that. It's the fact is that if you're out there doing this stupid stuff, right, and then you put it out there for the world, or the world sees what you're doing, you can't then get mad because someone's posting or somebody's doing things that says, hey, this is what you're doing. It's wrong. And you go, well, no, you're pointing out our issues. But it's wrong, right? But I know that race is a very, very touchy subject. Very touchy, okay? I can get along with anybody and everybody as long as you treat me with respect and you sit there and you're not acting a fool. Right? You're not out there acting a fool, and you can treat me with respect. I would do the same. I would treat you with respect, and I will keep it in my own corner and do my own thing. Okay? So when I think about it, and right now I'm thinking of it as it comes in, because I don't have a script. I don't have something that I can read off of that probably would have been good to do, but I don't have something to read off of. I just want to sit there and say, is there racism where people don't like other races? Yeah, of course. Okay? And that's their prerogative. Because in reality, as long as it's not affecting you, what does it matter? If a black person says, I only want to talk to black people and I only want to hang out with black people and I don't trust Mexicans and whites, okay? That's his prerogative. If you're Mexican, you say, I don't trust blacks and I don't trust whites and I'm going to stay to myself, that's your prerogative, okay? Same thing with whites, okay? But if you go out and you intentionally go to harm somebody physically, or you go out there to just trying to inflict as much pain on somebody's other race because you don't like them, that's a problem. That's a problem. That stuff should be handled with swift and divisive ways or different ways to stop that, right? I was listening to NPR, right, and they were saying, hey, you're racist if you only live in communities where it's the same race as you. What? How is that even a deal? Right? How is that even an issue? So if you're not living in diverse areas, then you're racist? No, you want to live where you feel comfortable and safe at. Okay? Alright? And in some cases, people can't just get up and go, and you're going to live where you can afford to live. But, I mean, I just don't get it, okay? I just don't get it why Michelle Obama would continue to just put that in the forefront. Nobody was even talking about this kind of stuff. Why would you bring this up? Okay, you were successful. You did what you had to do, right? Y'all became first lady, all that good stuff. Why are you going to keep pushing that? Right? Why? The past is the past. Whatever happened back in the day happened, okay? You know, I believe that slavery has been around for forever, okay? Okay, it's been around forever. You know, they had slaves back in the gladiator times, right? Hell, the Indians were enslaved. The Africans were enslaved. The people in what was it? God, I don't know all those overseas countries and stuff like that, but they had slavery back then. Hell, they were enslaving people in South America when to gather sugar whenever but they kept getting sick and dying and this and that, right? But all I'm saying is, eventually we're going to have to let this go. We're going to let this go. Stop pointing out. Okay, so if I was watching a news thing, and it was like, this guy shot this guy, that guy, right? Or whatever, was involved in this shooting or whatever. And then right when after they say everything he did, it was a white guy. Why did you have to put that out there? Doesn't matter what color he was. The fact that he did it was the problem in the first place. You put out everything you need to put out. You put out what he did, the crimes that he committed. You captured him. You didn't capture him. Whatever, right? You did all that, and you didn't even have to sit there and have to do that. I don't sit there and be like, oh, hey, there was a robbery and this and this and that. I think once you capture the person as well, there's no point in pointing out what color he was. You already captured him. You already got him. You showed a picture of him. We know what he looks like now. Okay, I don't have to sit there and be on the lookout for a certain color person wandering the streets, as you're giving out the details and this and that. I can understand if it was say there was a shooter, right? Say there's a shooter in your community. He's walking the streets just shooting at people, right? So then you're going to sit there and you're going to be like, okay, this man is 5'11", medium build, facial hair, blonde hair or brown hair, whatever, right? And you go, and is a white gentleman, right? So that okay, well, I'm not looking for a black gentleman. I'm not looking for a Hispanic gentleman. I'm looking for a white gentleman. I'm going to stay out of this area because there's some dude walking around here just shooting up the place. Okay? And it goes for any of the races, right? You sit there and you go, hey, look, I'm looking for this guy. If you're looking for him, if you're actively looking for him, I can see you putting his race out there because the people need to know what color person you're looking for. If I just say, I'm looking for a man who's this, and this, and that, then, okay, what's the difference? I'm probably looking for all the men. I don't know what man I'm looking for. All right? But I just wish this would all end, okay? As long as we keep getting outraged about what color someone is and this and that, it's never going to end. We're never going to get it. Man, we're never going to get ahead of this. Okay? I was just thinking, man. I was just thinking that I just wish this race stuff would end already. But it doesn't help when everything is the black community, the Mexican community, the white community. Why can't we just be a community? All right? The American community. All right? We are all in this together. Okay? Screwing over one race over a next race is stupid. Okay? If it's because of race, it's stupid. Okay? Because what do you benefit out of this other race failing? Okay? What do you get? You don't benefit at all. Okay? Because they're equally putting into the system the way that the other person is putting into the system. But I will say this though, that if things were more balanced, right? If things were more balanced, where everyone had enough respect for everyone else, regardless of color, things would be a whole entirely different story. Things would be so different, right? But I get it. We'll never move forward because no one wants to let go of the past. No one wants to let go of their hustle, right? Because some people are hustling this race thing, okay? Some people are benefiting off of it financially. And I'm not just saying one color over the next, because all colors are benefiting off this race stuff, right? If you can put a racial spin on it, oh man, you can make some money off of it, or you can get certain kind of airtime or certain type of views. But I sit there and I seen this one story where they said that children at birth recognize race, right? They recognize it. And so that would mean that it's built into you to want to connect with what you know, right? I'm not going to sit there and say that this person, because this person was saying that, since they recognize the race at infant levels, right, that you're keeping it going by not allowing them to interact with other people. But you interact with what's around you, right? If I live in an all different types of race community, I'm going to interact with all different kinds of races, but I'm still going to stick with the people that I can relate to. And I'm not talking about a color. I'm talking about a mentality. I'm talking about, what we do as a collective. So I just wanted to say that because I just see it so much. I see it, and I just wish people would just let it go, man. Let us move forward, okay? That's all I see on the news. It's all I see on the news. It's all I see, and over half the videos that some people post is just like, oh man, what race is this? What race did that? What race did this? What race did that? And if you're sitting there poking out what color or what race they are, you're just keeping the whole thing going. If a man and a woman or somebody does something stupid, that man and that woman did something stupid. Okay? All right? Stop sitting there pointing fingers. Okay? Let's take some responsibility for our own circle before we start worrying about what the other people are doing. Okay? If they say that this community is putting out certain types of people, okay, I don't really care. I don't really care what kind of people other people are putting out, right? Because the only thing I can worry about is the people I let allowed to leave my house. All right? The people I let leave my house, I need to make sure that when they go outside the house, they're going to be kind to people. They're not going to mess with nobody, and they're going to be safe. So, I just say that, right? Because what another race is doing, I really don't care. I don't care. But also, it's not racist if it's true. And I've told people that too. It's not racist if it's true. If you say Mexicans like tacos, yeah, they like tacos, man. Not everybody, obviously. If you say black people like chicken, oh yeah, no, it's true. But not everybody. If you say white people like lasagna, not everybody. Okay? You can stereotype everybody together, or one particular race together, and they might have a lot of things that is true about what you say about them. But we gotta let this go, right? I mean, stereotyping it's a whole nother thing, because stereotyping isn't always about race, it's about community too. Okay? If you live in a bad community, you're just going to assume everybody in that community is bad. Right? You're locking your doors, you're making sure, like, you're watching over your shoulder, because you don't never know who's going to walk up on you, because you're living in that kind of community, right? Okay? So somehow we're going to have to get ahead of this. We're going to have to figure out a way to end this, okay? And I honestly, I'm looking at it, and everybody's just pointing out what other people look like and what other people are doing, and so I'm just going ahead and end this now. I just wanted to say, look, man, we gotta get a handle on this stuff, right? We got to. Okay, when people see me, they see a Mexican. That's what they see, right? So, and it doesn't matter what color they are. They see a Mexican. A Mexican sees me, he sees a Mexican. Black person sees me, he sees me a Mexican. White person sees me, they see me as a Mexican, right? They start thinking about all the things that Mexicans do. And then, so they stereotype me, and they say, hey, you must like tacos, you must like beer, you must like this and this and that. Okay? It's not wrong if it's true. So if I like some of those things, you're like, yep, that's true. I like that. But I'm not going to get offended. I'm not going to get offended by it. So some people are so wound up so tightly that they're just waiting for someone to pop off about some stupid stuff, about stereotypes that they think they're portraying on other people. So I just wanted to make this video about it. I just wish that people would stop going in front of the TV, in front of the screen, and just say that this particular race is bad, this particular race is good, this particular race did this, and that particular race did that. Look, eventually we're going to let it go. I don't know what else to say. And I'm raising my kids to say, look, I don't care what color you are. If you be nice to me, I'll be nice to you. Right? Nothing in life is handed to you. You have to work for it. So no matter what color you are, you're going to have to work for it. But like I said, I was just doing this video to talk about race because it's a very touchy subject. I don't want to sound racist if I did, and at the same time, I don't care. I'm gonna let y'all know that I don't care what color you are. Okay, if you do something stupid, you're just doing something stupid. Okay, all right. So, and I'm just gonna leave it at that. Y'all have a good night, and I will see y'all tomorrow.